A very good afternoon to all of you. Very good afternoon. Yeah, I think I'm using the same technique what our anchors have used. So I thought, let me just get across to all, because I have come in at a time when whatever was to be spoken has already been spoken, I think, and difficult task. But I think the opportunity or the timing is right. I must congratulate Agarwal brothers for inviting me and allowing me to share my views along with you all. I'm a non-IP personnel. I belong to an organization which is National Research Development Corporation, which provides the last mile connectivity as what we have been talking about. And certainly the proof of the pudding is in eating. So whatever good work which is being done by all the IP intellectuals, that gets fructified through the portals of NRDC. So let me share some of the thoughts which I have in mind. What is that which we can possibly do? Honorable and esteemed dignitaries on the dais, and I would say I am very, very honored to be sharing the dais with such intellectuals, a rare opportunity indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, I think today is a wonderful day, no doubt. Such a huge congregation of IP intellectuals. And why are we here? Primarily to, I think, brainstorm on the various issues of IP and bring in some synergy and get some best practices which are being employed, not only here in India, but in all parts of the world. So the cross-section of people who are present here and the views which I think all of you have recently heard will bring in that kind of values to this conclave. And I'm indeed very, very happy to be part of this elite gathering of enviable credentials and capabilities in the field of IP. And very happy to see this representation also which exists here. We have Dr. Unat Pandit himself, various IP law firms, embassy officials, and global experts in IP and technology transfer. So this event of IP Forum and the theme which has been thought of is very much on the dot, and we are talking about IP and race to digital transformation. I think it has already been covered and spoken by few of the speakers before. Why the timing is important? Because we are talking about India is enjoying the presidency of G20, and with one of the objectives to move towards digital economy. So in December 22, just to recap a few things, there is a Digital Innovation Alliance has been launched which aims to identify and enable the adoption of innovative and impactful digital technologies developed by startups from G20 nations as well as the invited non-member nations. And basically to address the needs of critically important sectors like agri-tech, health tech, ed tech, fintech, secure digital infrastructure and circular economy. And this objective of G20 is very much in line with the theme of this forum. And so what does it indicate? It basically indicates that the digital technology will become all pervasive. And it will become obviously the bedrock of all technologies in almost all sectors, and which we are witnessing obviously in today's time. And this digital transformation, especially India, is also being powered by our Honorable PM's clarion call and flagship program of Digital India. And it has got, I think all of us are aware, it has got 3 key vision areas. One is to improve the digital infrastructure, governance and services on demand through digitally transformed services for improving ease of doing business, and digital empowerment of citizens through digital literacy and digital resources. This certainly, I think, is going to drive the industry to adopt culture of technological innovation and transformation, and which has already been spoken, and especially the technologies related to Industry 4.0, blockchain, IoT, augmented reality, VR, cloud computing, robotics, cyber physical systems. So these are the things which are proliferating, are the manufacturing sector, and which in any case is going to create the opportunities for economic growth. So how do we visualize the scenario for the intellectual property rights? And certainly it is going to play a very, very vital role in pre and post technology development scenario. Answer, obviously, it's obvious that there is a need to protect and there is a need to monetize. And obviously it will have its own attendant complexities which needs to be certainly addressed. And especially coming from an organization where we deal with this, so we need to get ready primarily for this scenario. How this digital transformation will come about, certain points which I have in mind, thought we'll share. Some of them may appear to be out of the box because all of you are conversant with the field of IP, and there is a been there, done that kind of thing, but I have looked at it in an unbiased manner because it's been 1.5 years when I have taken over as chairman of NRDC. I have looked at certain processes, and especially in the field of IP. There is a requirement primarily to bring in the digital transformation in the field of IP. And why so? I think it's mainly because looking at even the theme of G20, we are talking about one earth, one family, one future. We are looking at everyone to be connected. Whatever is happening in one part of the world should be available elsewhere. So the digital transformation is important, basically to connect up various entities world over with each other through these development of digital networks and the processes. Maybe if there is a requirement, it's a food for thought, if the processes can be aligned so that there are mechanisms which are available through the Office of WIPO. But if the processes get aligned, I think the job becomes much simpler and it brings in the much needed synergy. Just a brief intro about National Research Development Corporation. We are a 70-year-old CPSC under Department of Scientific and Industrial Research in Ministry of Science and Technology. The main core job is technology commercialization and IPR portfolio management. So basically from creating awareness to IP protection to IP monetization, that happens within the portals of it's a small CPSC. So we perform all those roles, whatever is needed and what is being talked about, that there is a requirement for a last mile connectivity. So NRDC does this, plays that role. So how do we possibly can contribute towards this last mile connectivity? So just a thought process. Enough of IPs are getting generated, but we intend proposing a concept of IP exchange. I think it's been tried world over in US, also in Hong Kong. There was a movement which happened 2 years back. COVID came, and I think there is a requirement to reignite this activity. So NRDC has proposed, maybe in a public-private partnership mode, a setting up of a IP exchange, which will help trading of IPRs. Not only trading of IPRs, it will also help providing various value-added services, which should come not only for the purpose of banking of IP, but in terms of your IP valuation services and IP portfolio management. So this is one which should become a reality, and if we have an industry partner who is ready to come forward, primarily in a public-private partnership mode, so we would be keen in doing this activity together. A thought process slightly out of the blue, maybe, and that's the word which I intend coining. We have heard about WIPO Green Initiative, wherein they are looking at promotion of various green technologies. They have the patent to solution database. They have various networks which they have created under this WIPO Green Initiative. So we also intend proposing akin to WIPO Green, a WIPO Blue. Why WIPO Blue is because we are talking about blue economy, and that in any case is also one of the focus area of the government of India, and which will offer basically technologies in marine energy, ocean energy, coastal engineering, maritime shipping and allied industries field. And this is also, I think, one of the UN's SDG, which is life below water. Why NRDC is mainly because and why are we proposing this? Because we have seen in the recent past, through one of the elite, I would say, or a wonderful laboratory under Ministry of Earth Sciences, that is National Institute of Oceanographic Technology, for which we have a representation here present in the hall. They're doing wonderful work, and they are the one who are also working on the deep sea mission. And they are coming out with various technologies which have reached primarily for benefit of the maritime community. Coastal observers, tsunami buoy, marine oil spill bioremediation technology is something which has come out from NIOT. So we propose that akin to WIPO Green, a WIPO Blue possibly can be thought of to take care of, for a focused attention on such technologies. NRDC being a small organization, the mandate being big, we are also looking at scaling up, and how that scaling up will happen. It's part of our vision that we are looking at a national technology transfer organization which will operate at, I would say, international level. And how do we do this? Mainly because it should become a one-stop shop for all the needs of an entrepreneur or a startup or an MSME. Because we are all talking about the last mile connectivity. It means we want that IP which is getting protected through your law firms should reach the market. It should reach the market for the larger societal good. It means there would be a requirement for startups to ideate around those IPs or technologies. But where will this activity happen? So NRDC has taken on this mandate to create this organization where we will support not only for the purpose of sake of ideation, because we have a technology data bank in NRDC. We also help ideate the startups in our incubation centers. Seed funding support is provided, networking support, testing facilities support. So all that is available or going to be available under the portals of NRDC. So all in all, I think I'm just giving a brief idea that whatever you do, I think should be with the aim of commercialization. It means through the concept of technology brokering, that IP should get used in some product or other. So it should not be mere filing and granting of a patent. It should be with an intention of commercializing it. And here there is an organization which is getting geared up to do this activity and to provide the last mile connectivity. So that's the hope which I'm giving to the audience. And lastly, I think what is left with me is to thank again the organizers who have done a wonderful job. And for me especially, because I have such wonderful audience who came alive to the good afternoon and who have been such a patient listener. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.